wrong.
No.
It's just, it doesn't work that way. The energy doesn't happen that way. It's just your monkey brain telling you all the things that you could be worrying about right now. But instead of worrying about them, you're taking a deep breath and just knowing that whatever it was that needs to happen from your energy is already happening.
Exactly.
That to me is sort of the essence of magic.
That in itself is that active suspension of disbelief or faith that it's going to be okay. I think that's the big piece of magical faith, is just knowing that the universe is going to catch you when you step out and the tile you don't see. And
right.
Having that belief, the tile shows up, because that's what the universe's job is to catch us crazy people who have decided, okay, yes, there's that physics magic of the universe around us, but we know there's all these other layers, and we're going to play with it.
Well, and I just realized that and I'm sure a lot of people, but I probably spent at least the first half of my life reaching out with a toe and tapping and trying to feel for that tile. And that was the problem, is I was trying to see if the tile was there instead of knowing that the tile was there. And I think that's just a matter of age and experience, but it also causes me now. That's why I said I was excited to do today's talk. I'm actually going to go forward in my day with sort of a different definition of the word faith, because we have had a chance to kind of redefine it while we're talking.
I think so. And I think the other piece is, as you said, it is not always age, it's experience. Once we experience that magic really is there, then that disbelief kind of gets shattered. And our faith gets larger the more we experience and do, which is why I focus so much on the word practice. Because practice means I'm learning how to do something, to me.
Well, and doing, absolutely.
And with practice, you get better. It's like learning how to play the piano. You have piano practice every day, or anything like that, or dance practice, or drawing practice, or whatever. Typing.
Guitar or drums.
Keyboarding, for God's sakes. Anything that you do, the repetition and the use, you stop worrying about the mechanics so much, because your hands know. You have muscle memory involved. And it's the same thing with ritual. If you've done it enough, you know the mechanics. I'm going to open it with blessing, or I'm going to light the candles this way, or I'm going to create sacred space this way. And you stop focusing on the mechanics and the words and get into the why I'm doing this and the meaning of it for me. And that's a big part of faith too, I think.
Sure. Yeah. And you just struck on something there with the muscle memory. I'm thinking back to sort of the reading on faith and separating the intellectual, or I call him my evolutionary problem-solving pattern-matching monkey. I have plenty of muscle memory in how to sit and intellectually think and analyze and study and try to understand. That's all part of my training as being a science-related person. Ritual, even if it's a 30 seconds every morning when I put my necklace on and I think about Susie. When I do that every single day, and yes, we miss you very much, honey. Mm-hmm. When I do that every single day, what I am doing is I am creating muscle memory for my soul.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
My spirit is developing new patterns and habits. Mm-hmm. And there will be days when I'll wake up and not think of it or not necessarily want to do it, but I will do it anyway. And that's when I'm building faith.
Yes, exactly.
So faith is spiritual muscle memory.
In essence, yes. I love
it.
I do too. And that looks like a good point to stop that discussion.
I feel really good about where we're at today.
I do too.
I'm going to carry the day forward having a renewed definition, or I guess I should say connotation, for the word faith.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be weighed down with all that old baggage.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's another part of witchcraft. We have the freedom to make meaning better sometimes.
Well, for me, intellectually studying some of the pagan traditions put all of the cracks in the mirror.
Mhm.
And with my practice, I'm picking the little pieces of mirror off the window and actually seeing the world behind through those little gaps.
I like it.
There's my metaphor for the day.
I like it a lot. Witchstones are a divination tool we created as part of our practice that deals with what we call concrete stones, specific types and times of energy, and conceptual stones, things and ideas about witchcraft, which can be read with either a seen or an unseen meaning. Recently, we have developed a set of oracle cards using this information. We would like to introduce you to one of these stones right now.
In today's Witchstone Spotlight, we'll be looking at the stone card for Loafmas. Concrete stones focus on a specific physical energy rather than on a concept, and the last 4 concrete stones link the 4 cross-quarter times together, which are used in the practice of our craft on the path. We work with them as a seasonal time or a period of our year that runs from cross-quarter day through a Sabbat to the following cross-quarter day, and this period of time is associated with a stronger awareness of one of the 4 physical elements. The 3rd cross-quarter time is Loafmas, beginning in early August, and this Witchstone Oracle card displays a pictograph of red loaf of bread surrounded by 2 red sheaves of grain. The border being the same color all the way around tells us that this is a concrete stone, and the border being gray tells us that this card represents one of the cross-quarter times. During the times of Loafmas, the element of air is the most prominent. The dark energy is growing. This is the time when we become aware that it is starting to gather. Loafmas's magical associations include blessings and the labor to use them, harvesting physical projects and sorting, abundance and change, and gratitude for things completed or received. Blessings require that we step up and not only acknowledge them, but also put in the labor necessary to get the most benefit from them. Loafmas magical associations focus on the element of air. Loafmas is associated with the direction of east. In our season cycle, Loafmas is summer. In the life cycle, this period is the period of life. In the moon cycle, we associate Loafmas with the full moon phase. And in our day cycle, we see the noon or midday sun feeding with all of its blessed energy. The seen energy for the Loafmas stone card in a reading is time of harvest, using your blessings, and gratitude. Time of harvest may mean gathering up and finishing projects. Using your blessings may call you to work to value what you have been given, to use them wisely, and to not waste them. Gratitude is an attitude of being aware of what you truly have and its great value, because living with this attitude creates positive energy for yourself and for those around you. The unseen energy for the Loafmas stone in a reading is time of harvest, inertia, and need to be grateful. Time of harvest may involve looking at our unfinished projects and discarding those we know we won't be completing. Inertia is a state of not moving or changing, and this may mean you need to get up and finish some type of project at this time. Another word for it is stagnation. And the need to be grateful may ask you to take stock of what you already have and learn better how to appreciate it in your life. Before we go, we would like to present you with a tip or trick or witchy hint. Just something to make your day go better, because we live in a mixture of the magical and the mundane.
Today's witchy hint can best be called counterclockwise, clockwise, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. After all, there are all sorts of ways to raise energy as part of ritual and for spell work, including basic movement, chanting, clapping, dancing, drumming. In fact, there are endless possibilities. Many people, when they first enter the craft, are taught that the only correct way to raise energy when moving around in a circle is to travel in a clockwise direction. Somehow, many people have come, therefore, to associate counterclockwise movement with something negative. Actually, there is nothing wrong with moving in either direction. Insert gasps of horror, sounds of bodies hitting the floor in a dead faint, etc. here. Here's an interesting fact for you. When the Earth rotates every 24 hours, creating our cycles of day and night, it actually moves in a west to east direction, what we commonly call counterclockwise if you are watching from the top of the planet. Clockwise movement came into existence with the movement of a shadow across a sundial, which has nothing to do with the movement of the planet itself at all. Something to think about. Maybe we've been doing it backwards all along, or maybe it really doesn't make a difference which way you walk around that circle. So why not try experimenting with moving in both directions to see what works best for you? Maybe you could think about the purpose of your magic and whether you're using projective or receptive energy in your spell, or whether you are trying to draw something to you or put a desire out into the universe when considering which way to move. We have found that when we are gathering projective energy, moving clockwise works best, and when we are gathering receptive energy, moving counterclockwise is actually better for that purpose. Who knows why, but it seems to work out okay. Another small fact, some people refer to clockwise movement as Jeschel and counterclockwise as Widdershins. So if you hear those words, you now have something of a definition. I think they might have used the Celtic at some point, if that's what I think it's about. However, I just like saying Widdershins for counterclockwise at times. In any event, try moving in different directions to create the energy that you want. The universe will not fall apart if you go counterclockwise around a circle. Well, it looks like the coffee cups are empty for this week. We hope you join us again next Tuesday. But you can find us at our website, 2youngcrones.com. That's the number 2, Young Crones.
You can also find us on social media such as Facebook and Twitter.
Until then,
remember,
we are witches who work with energies to effect change.
We are believers in both immanent and transcendent divine.
We are celebrants of the passage of the solar and lunar cycles.
We are hedge walkers who pass back and forth between the worlds of the magical and the mundane.
We are seekers of knowledge.
We are walkers of a spiritual tradition we call the Path. So let it be.